but let's get started. So everybody who's here already has been typing as well where they are joining us from, and we have people from all over the world: Lisbon, Dubai, Bulgaria, Amsterdam, Germany. I'm actually currently in Portugal, but I live in between Athens and Berlin. And we have Julia from San Francisco here, and Brian. Where are you joining from, Brian?
I am also in Dubai. I see a few people writing in from Dubai here. So, hey, hello, everyone.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Elena.
Hi, Julia. Hi, Brian. So I'm going to share my screen then so we can start the presentation and welcome everybody to the Partisia Blockchain Hackathon. Excuse me a minute, just let me find the right tab here. Okay. Can everybody see my screen? Can you just heads up or something that Julia, Brian, someone? Okay, you can see it. All right, awesome. India, Kenya, United States. I'm still reading and amazed by all of like the multiculti people here from all over the world joining from different time zones. So as I said, I will be just kicking things off here from data native side. We are partnering up with Partisia Blockchain, and we are running the Partisia Blockchain Hackathon. And Iulia Mihailescu here, the CMO of Partisia Blockchain, will tell everybody about the mission behind and the vision of Partisia Blockchain and why we're doing this hackathon. Then we're having Brian Gallagher here, who's the co-founder of Partisia Blockchain, who will also tell us a little bit about how to fund your Web3 project and in general the grants program that they're launched. And I'm also going to give you the ins and outs of the hackathon and how you can join and details, but also an overview of the picture. So a bit of information, logistically speaking, of what you need to do to also enter the hackathon. So let's start with this message though. Partisia Blockchain Hackathon, it's time to be daring. Julia, tell us all about this.
Thank you. So, hi, I'm Julia. I am the marketing chief, so call me chief. I'm very happy to be organizing my first Web3 hackathon for an amazing company, Partisia Blockchain, whose mission is to power the most secure and efficient network of blockchains and solve major economic and social problems. And we do that with 3 innovations. We bring privacy on blockchain with MPC, or secure multi-party computation, aka ZK computation. And you will hear a lot about MPC from following this workshop series. MPC has been pioneered by the Partisia Blockchain founding team, and it is one of the most innovative things that have been brought to the world of internet and blockchain since 2008. Secondly, we bring interoperability. We believe that the world will be a world of network of blockchains, and these blockchains will have to communicate securely. We've designed Partisia Blockchain as a layer 1 and layer 2 with MPC as to provide a secure token bridge across chains to enable for both privacy and transactions. Lastly, performance. This is a highly performant blockchain built with sharding from day one. It's built in by design, speed of light finalization, and amazing scalability. And there is something different also that we do about the Partisia Blockchain applications. If we can move to the next slide, Elena. We've started from day one with applications and partnerships live with some amazing institutions that work to solve major problems in the world. This is just 3 inspirational examples that we are most proud of, and we invite all developers to join our good work. With Red Cross, we've just announced a partnership about 3 weeks ago to bring stablecoins as humanitarian tokens in crisis and the war zones. With Instars, we provide Instars provides a decentralized social network based on the Partisia blockchain with permission-based advertising and data exchange models to leave users back in control of their data. And with cyber peace, we provide a humanitarian, we provide help against targeted cyber attacks against NGOs that perform in war zones. We use, these are only three of our flagship applications that we use to actually launch a call to arms to the developers out there to come and join us in this quest to actually bring the Web3 and bring the blockchain beyond crypto into solving major economic and social problems. I'll leave Brian to give an introduction to how we plan to solve this with this hackathon.
Yes, hello everyone. Thanks for the great intro, Julia. That was really well described of kind of what we're working on and trying to solve for. So hopefully I can elaborate on that a bit and get some people excited to build on Partisia Blockchain, as mentioned. And we've already given a few Twitter Spaces and other announcements. We are going to run our first hackathon in the first week of Paris, in Paris, so the first week of December. And we have some, big objectives and goals that we want to accomplish with this. It's not, this is the beginning of Partisia Blockchain. So it's sort of the first time that we're going to have our, small but growing community of developers coming together and collaborating on projects to enhance Web3 with Partisia Blockchain technology. I myself have been in startups since 2013, when I started my first company, which was called undergroundseller.com. It's a wine e-commerce marketplace in the United States. It's still going and doing well. We got funded by Y Combinator in 2015, which was a really big breakthrough for us from a company and just personal perspective. It got us involved in the program. That's when I learned about Coinbase getting their $100 million round in 2015 that was led by the New York Stock Exchange. I had been tracking crypto since pretty much the beginning, but that was a big pivotal moment where I decided to dedicate all of my professional career to blockchain technology. So, Ethereum came out right around then and was listed on Coinbase. And so it became apparent there's more to blockchain technology than just money, which was Bitcoin and the Bitcoin use case. So we've seen this evolution of the technology, and now it's super exciting because Partisia Blockchain is a super innovative, scalable blockchain solution that also brings privacy to blockchains, which has been limited so far to just two-party privacy, mostly for a money use case like Monero or Zcash, where you could secretly share the transaction between two parties. And that's not exactly regulatory friendly, and we're seeing it being delisted from exchanges. So the type of privacy that we bring is totally different. It's a way for big networks of multiple people, hundreds, thousands of people to collaborate while having their privacy preserved. And the technology we use is called MPC, multi-party computation. And so that's why we named our token MPC, is after our flagship technology that the Partisia team's been developing commercially since 2008 and doing research on since the late 80s even. So moving forward, I'm just going to kind of talk a bit more about this hackathon and also maybe give a few tips on how to best bootstrap your project to raise a little bit of money, start a founding team. And I'm going to be available to help throughout the process. So you can always reach out and I can give tips. And if you're coming to the hackathon or you want to start building a project now before the hackathon, which we highly encourage, I'm a resource that's available to give some feedback. So keep that in mind. So yes, we are announcing the awards. So we have a sort of tiered award system. So whoever wins the first place prize is going to get $125,000 for their project. And second place here, we call it the Ivan Domgard Award. Ivan is going to be at the hackathon and one of the judges. But you can see in the graphics here, the other awards. But we also wanted to kind of highlight a use case that we think would be super useful for the world. We haven't really seen yet done well on blockchain. And that's, we're going to offer another top prize in addition to the first prize for 125K. If someone can successfully build a neutral open source community fact-checking platform, that would be a 125K grant award. And the reason that we want to highlight that is because there's a lot of debates in the Twitterverse and just in general in society now over the things happening in our world between the war and other big issues that, there's a lot of fake news, a lot of propaganda, and it's not one-sided. It's coming from all different angles. And there's a few centralized fact-checking websites like Snopes, but when you really look into these centralized companies, you can see there's biases in all of them, who's behind it, who funds it. So we see this really awesome opportunity to bring attention to this use case where you could use the Partisia blockchain to create a platform where people can log in with their wallet and sort of post issues that are being debated, and then let the community provide evidence and fact checking in sort of a living thread. Rather than just waiting to hear what the experts at Snopes or one of these other websites say. There's a lot of privacy preserving technology that Partisia blockchain has as well. So there's ways to do submissions where you keep, we use privacy tech to make sure that the submitter couldn't be identified. So you're able to confidently submit evidence or information that would support a fact checking over any issue. And it doesn't have to be political, it could be anything. So we actually think this is a major use case that could be solved by blockchain, and especially Partisia blockchain, if it's privacy preserving tech. So we want to highlight a use case like this, or if you have your own idea of something similar, let's do it, and let's get a grant to the team that wants to undertake this, because I think it would serve the world to have an open source collaborative community who can debate topics and submit evidence for fact checking rather than just yelling at each other on Twitter or relying on one of the centralized parties to tell us what's true or not. It'd be cool to have this open global community that could, run fact checking as a group collective effort. So just a little piece on that. And we'll go to the next slide. And so here's just some other recommended use cases. And again, it's open for anyone. We want to hear your creative ideas and see your creative products. So this is just a set of use cases that we find interesting and we know our blockchain could support. So if it's something you've been thinking about and you would like to undertake, maybe these are a good direction to go in. So DeFi has been limited to like yield farming and locking assets and providing liquidity. So we want to see some world use cases in the traditional economy start to come onto blockchain. In previous talks I've given, I've talked a lot about trade finance. It's a really good one. The ability to lend crypto on trade deals. There's a $2 trillion a year trade finance gap where deals can't get funded. So if you had a verified vendor network, like you can imagine an Alibaba, but inside there, they can request funding in the form of crypto, which is borderless, doesn't need banks, you can lock it in smart contracts. That's a huge use case for anyone willing to shoot for the moon. Carbon markets are getting really popular. Philosophically, whether you agree with it or not, it does seem to be approaching and something that's going to be real. They're voluntary at this time, carbon markets, if you're not familiar with them. But basically it's a way to measure carbon carbon output of different companies and issue limits in the form of credits that they're allowed, and you can buy and sell these units in these markets. So DeFi is totally open opportunity here to get those markets, which are voluntary, which means anyone can participate, trading and recruiting companies into the blockchain. This can bring enterprise adoption because if these credits can start to trade on crypto markets in a decentralized fashion where it's fast, frictionless, and you start to bring enterprises in to bid or sell those credits, then that's bringing institutions into crypto, which is huge, right? So anyone who can do that is contributing major to the growth of this ecosystem. So cool use case. Financial order matching. So that's a bit generic the way it's described here, but what we specialize in is privacy. So there's ways to do private order matching. So instead of having open trade books, which are ripe for spoofing, which is when, say, a big whale with tons of crypto wants to buy more ETH. They might put a bunch of sell orders in the book to scare the traders to retreat a little bit and show strength on the sell side. And they call that spoofing. But really, they're trying to get people to sell into them at lower prices. By hiding the order books and just letting people buy at the last price, it eliminates that spoofing of markets where people can show strength on either side to try to influence market behavior. So private order matching is like a super epic use case that we think will reduce fraud in markets and provide a more fair ecosystem for everyone, where whales don't have as much power to manipulate markets. So that would be a really cool use case. Data economy and Web3, what that means is putting users in control over their data, protecting confidentiality and ownership of users' assets. This has been a trending topic for the last few years, even since 2018. But we haven't seen it materialize yet, but the world is wide open for this. So, started to do things like survey markets, different types of data markets. I know there's some recently where there's trade data that users are allowing their trade data to be sold in a data exchange, so people can see how different people are trading different assets privately. And then there's a permission-based advertising. So when you're targeted by Google, instead of just seeing the ad, it would be targeted through a smart contract where it's linking to your private data that you can permission to see an ad or not. So maybe we'll go to the next slide. Just got to take this 1 second.
The next slide is now presenting the milestones, the rules, and grants. Is there something else you would like to add, perhaps, Brian?
Yeah, I think, Brian, you can go into the startup funding piece.
Here, you mean? Or is it not in the slide?
Sorry, I had an emergency phone call I had to take. What was the question, Julia?
If you can go into the startup funding. So how does a startup in Web3 fund their business?
Oh, sure. So yeah, I guess now that we've kind of talked through what types of grants we're doing that help bootstrap your company on the financial side, let's talk a bit about what you need to do to maybe get your team started and raise some funds for your project. So in working with us, we want to just start hearing ideas. So in terms of this grants, start going into our Telegrams, our Discords. There's people on our team waiting to hear ideas and get you through the right channels. Like Bunga, he's one of our admins. That's his username. You can find him easily, just BUNGA. Start talking about your ideas. We're databasing everybody and making sure that we give consistent follow-ups and process. But really you need to think, what is your idea? What market are you addressing? How is it a problem you're solving? Back at Y Combinator, the saying was make something people want. And then there was some internal debate to say make something people need. So, I think step one is when you're thinking of these ideas is there a problem and does this help solve it? Because if there's a problem and you can solve it, naturally it's going to be successful no matter what it is, because that's basically what humans do, right? We solve our own problems or other problems for other people. And that's what startups are really all about. It's about improving the systems and methods of how humans are functioning, whether it's with each other or for themselves, health and wellness. It goes across every category. The roots of it all is really about solving a problem. Because if you can do that, make something easier for someone, faster, better cost, open new markets and funding opportunities for people who don't have that access. That creates entire new economies. So step one is always ask yourself that question. Do people want this and do they need this? Is there a problem and does it solve it? And so that's where your deck should start. Here's the problem, here's how I'm solving it. So put it into a slide, even for just yourself. Do this for yourself and your own exercise first, not for someone else. So start with documenting in a slide, what problem is there? How big is the problem? Can you quantify it? Can you find numbers and data to support it? And if you can, then maybe you have something there. And then you think, well, how can I solve it? Make your next slide like this, okay? And if you can get a problem and solution very clearly visible, just to even yourself, then you can take the next step, which is who is able to solve this problem? Because you can't do everything by yourself, right? So now you have to build your team. So if you have a problem you've identified, you've figured out your solution, you believe in it, you're passionate about it, it's something you would want to work on for 10 years. You know, don't commit to a startup unless you're willing to do it for 10 years. That's another Y Combinator teaching. You know, before crypto and the way valuations would explode and quantitative easing, there's a lot of data to support that to build a true billion-dollar company, it takes 10 years. So if you want to build a big company, be ready to commit for at least a decade, which means you need to be passionate and truly believe in what you're doing and also love what you're doing because it's a lot of work. So if you've now got problem, solution, and passion and commitment, you're ready to commit, who can help you solve the problem? In tech, which is what we're in, you need a technical person. So if you're a developer, that's a great start because now you can at least even start developing an MVP. If you're not a developer, you need to find your co-founder who's a developer. I would not recommend getting a co-founder who's not a developer if you're not one. It's been done and pulled off, but it's very rare and not in things. It's very hard to make things go as fast as you would need in a startup to survive because it's a speed and survival game. So once you have your team and if you have one tech guy and you can either be sales or marketing or vice versa, I think you're ready to go. You need someone who can sell what you're building and sell the vision. That's mostly the CEO. And then you need a tech guy. If you're both, well, then you're a superstar off to a good start. I think so. You've got problem, solution, you've got your team made. Then you start building that MVP. What's the simplest version of this product, even just to show somebody that we can get out the door and try to do that in under 90 days. So try to come up with something simple. There's another good quote I like by Paul Graham. If you're not embarrassed of the first version of your product, you didn't launch fast enough. So don't be over perfectionist and trying to make everything look too perfect. Get started. In that process, whoever's on your sales or BD team, start the conversations with investors. So a lesson I've learned over time and that other people have, you know, it's a very common known mistake or early founders make is they wait to talk to investors. Well, my product's not far enough yet. No, I don't think it's ready yet. That's a mistake. And investors will even tell you that, a lot of the good ones at least. They'll say, you should have just talked to me on the first day because I might have written you a check for the ideas. And that's rare, especially if you're a first-time founder. But I even had investors tell me once, hey, you should have came to me like earlier before you made this MVP and did all this because we could have written you a check to make this go faster. It would have been a lower valuation. Maybe you'd be further by now, but now you're in the middle. Now you're not far enough. You built all this stuff. Now I need to see users and more traction before I commit. So start as early as possible with just reaching out to investors, getting their feedback. Always offer them something. Try to provide value to them. Think of just something you can provide value to them because they get 1,000 emails a day. So the way you hook an investor on a first conversation is you say, you know, hey, I saw your talk at XYZ conference and I really identified with what you said about this. I'd love to give you this blog post with a few links to ideas that I thought would support what you were saying in case you haven't heard of them. Hopefully it can provide some value. That's just a random example I'm throwing out there, but that's the best way to approach an investor is to give them value. And these are all things that were taught to me by the biggest investors and the most successful entrepreneurs. So I'm not just making this up. This is what I was taught and how I learned. So, you know, take it from them because, you know, I'm not going to say names of who my mentors were or anything like that, but you know, collectively, you know, one of them is like a top Midas VC now, who's, you know, had 10, 20 unicorns, something like that in his portfolios. So, you know, provide value to the investors on your first outreach. You know, have your problem solution team ready. Start as early as possible talking to the investors because it takes a long time to get them to commit. So the longer you wait, even if it's perfect, they're still going to want 90, 120 days of back and forth. So you might as well start the process early. And even if they don't like it in the beginning, they'll be tracking your progress. So if you go 6 months to a year and you keep coming back every 2-3 months and saying, hey, here's the new update, the numbers are going up, everything I'm saying is coming to fruition, that makes it much easier for them to write a check and say, all right, you're hitting your goals. I liked it from the beginning. And now you did everything you said. We're ready to invest. And so that's kind of I think that's I would, say the best way to start is those few steps.
Thank you very much, Brian. Great tips for anyone starting now and potentially even considering this hackathon as a starting point for the 10-year-long journey. Great tips that I wish I knew. Definitely getting a tech co-founder helps. And thank you very much for sharing your hard acquired, I'm pretty sure, wisdom over the years with also your other startups. So I will move on then just to tell our hackers here how they can make their dream come true and how they can dare now at this really difficult times to find some solutions that will make the world hopefully a better place. So I will give you some practical information. Let's start with talking about the roadmap. So the Partisia Blockchain Hackathon has already kicked off the registrations on September 29th. There was an announcement that made a token 2049. And since then, we've had the registrations open, we're accepting applications, and we are collecting data until November 14th, where we would like to see your project submission. In the meantime, and from today onwards, we have kicked off the webinars, online webinars. I will give you a detailed overview of all the webinars that you will be able to participate at, to actually be part of, and as an educational program explore. They would also be recorded, so everybody who has signed up for the hackathon, they could access them afterwards if they cannot make it. And we are also offering one-on-one meetings if you would like with some people to discuss your ideas, if you have ideas, or to discuss what potentially you could do if you have skills and you're looking for someone with an idea. So there's an opportunity to learn from the experts and with the experts for this time period, and also benefit from really one-on-one discussions. And of course, if you need anything and you cannot find the resources, you can always ask on the Discord channel. And I believe link is shared with everybody in the chat section. Someone also asked if there's going to be any matchmaking activities, and yes, we're planning an online matchmaking session in the beginning of November, where we can help people who have either ideas or have skills to find each other. So it's sort of like a blockchain speed dating situation, where people can actually come together and find their co-founder potentially for the future project. And after the project submission, we are coming together in Paris on December 1st until December 2nd. We will have activities planned for you. The first day, we're starting in the afternoon after 5. Get together, get to know us, get to know people in real life. And then on the 2nd, the whole day, we'll have workshops and consultation sessions, mentorship sessions. And finally, on December 3rd, we will get you ready for a pitch. So you will also have a workshop just preparing you on how to go on stage and pitch. And then we will do the demo day. So everybody who submitted their projects, they will also have time on stage to present what they've worked on. And then there will be a selection from the jury members of the projects that will be awarded. And then we'll have an award ceremony, and we will also come together again to celebrate the winning teams. And of course, from December 4th, you'll be able to launch. From December 4th until May 4th, you'll be able to launch your app. So yes, think of it as as an accelerator program to get you to kickstart your potential startup. I see people have raised their hands. Let's take questions at the end of this. So I will continue the next slide. As I mentioned, there will be workshops that will take place, with the first one being today, which is the info session, where you get to meet some of the team members. So Brian and Julia here to introduce you to Partisia Blockchain, the mission of Partisia Blockchain, and why this hackathon is important, and to also give you some practical overview of how to enter this hackathon, and what are the rules, what are the milestones, and how afterwards you can dream big and think about what can you do after you enter the hackathon, and how can you be best equipped for success, how you can win this. And then from tomorrow onwards, we're having a lot of workshops that they could also give you an overview of Partisia Blockchain from different perspectives. So first, we're talking about applications and business opportunities on Partisia Blockchain. So really understanding what Partisia Blockchain is, and how essentially what kind of business cases you can build on it. Then we're really looking into concepts and architecture. Peter, who's the co-founder and CTO, would actually give you more information on the architecture and the how exactly this technology has been built. And then we are looking into the developer toolset. So what could be, for example, for anyone who wants to build on it, the toolset for private and public smart contracts. As you can see here from the slide, from the names, the team basically who's going to be introducing this to you are really the core team of Partisia Blockchain. So people who've been working on it for a long time, some of them from the beginning, all of them are co-founders, but most of them are co-founders, sorry, rephrasing this. Most of them are co-founders, most of them have been working for a long time. So really you're going to get a lot of insights, and you can treat also those sessions are really giving you a deep dive on everything. So we're moving from the developer toolset to front end and back end, and then full stack build. So you go into the core, you go into the motherland. So basically you will be able to understand everything around Partisia Blockchain, hopefully. And of course, if you have more questions, you can always ask on Discord, or find a way with meeting the people here to be able to answer any questions that you have. One thing that is very, very exciting, as I mentioned, most of these people have worked for a long time, and what Partisia Blockchain has been offering is a new thing on the blockchain. It's really interoperable. It's built on multi-party computation, and I think what is really, really special, and that's one thing that you will also find out if you come to Paris, because we're also offering an award specifically in honor of Ivan Damgard, who is the brilliant and renowned mind behind multi-party computation and the theoretical underpinnings of Partisia Blockchain. So, and as you can see here from the judges and mentors, he's the first one here. He's going to be there as a jury member, and his theories, he's the inventor of in his honor, basically we're presenting the Ivan Damgard Award at Paris, and he's the co-inventor of the Merkle-Damgard construction, which is used in influential cryptographic hash functions such as SHA-2, SHA-1, and MD5. So really he laid the foundation of what Partisia Blockchain is, and you will be, it's basically in his honor for the one who's going to be building the best use case of multi-party computation in the Web3 app. He'll get that award. So as you can see, the rest of the judges and mentors are people who are going to give also, apart from mentorship sessions, also a lot of the workshops that I mentioned before. And you are meeting now here, Julia and Brian from the team, and we'll hopefully also have some other invited mentors specifically at the offline hackathon in Paris, who will provide outside of the Partisia Blockchain community from another ecosystem as well, other skills. But here, essentially, what you're really getting is an introduction to Partisia Blockchain and understanding. And if you are really interested and excited on this kind of use case applications, you could really make a difference and be part of this community and this ecosystem. I see, Brian, you turned on your camera. I don't know if you wanted to add something.
No, I just kind of wanted to just come and say, thanks for tuning in. And again, I'm here to answer any questions if anyone has any. And even if you don't have some now and want to ask later, feel free to reach out on Telegram or Discord.
Yeah, I think there were some questions that weren't answered on the chat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And maybe Elena, we can take some of them.
There are a couple of questions in chat, and I see that also Soil raised his hand.
Yes. I don't know if he has his hand still raised. I don't see him here.
Sohail.
Oh, yes, it is. Yeah, it is. What did you want to say, Julia, before I answer this question? Or before I
actually, I wanted to invite the guests to ask their questions, and then maybe to also ask aloud some questions that have been answered on chat, but maybe just repeat the answer for everybody to hear.
So Hail, you are now allowed to speak up. So if you want, you can unmute your mic and you can tell us your question or your hello? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hi.
Hi, true. I want to ask about the DeFi. Do you have any workshop class for the DeFi decentralized exchange?
Yulia, do you want to talk about the schedule of the different workshops?
Yeah. We don't have a dedicated schedule, dedicated session for DeFi, but I invite you tomorrow. At the same time, Kurt will be presenting, will make an introduction to the mainnet, and he will actually take you through the business opportunities and the main use cases. So he will be touching on DeFi and how to approach it.
Okay, thank you so much. And I have one question, one more question.
Sure.
What is your cost fees for this workshops and entire fees? I am belong from the Pakistan country, and I am developer. I am blockchain developer. So I don't know about the Paradise blockchain. Still no. I am working on a Web3, but I don't know what is the actual cost of your workshop or your coaching. Can you tell me what is the actual price?
So there is no cost. All the workshops are free. Participation in the hackathon is free. Thank you for calling us the Paradise blockchain. Where the Partisia blockchain, I suppose you meant, but there is no cost, no fee involved to participating in the workshops, and we are actually recording all these sessions and then making them available on our hackathon.partisiablockchain.com webpage at the section of the workshops. Everybody will be able to watch recordings. Join us in Paris, same thing. Participation in person is free. We'll have open door policy. We hope to see basically all the developers that are submitting applications. However, participation in Paris is not mandatory to be able to be considered for the grants. I think the way to approach it is the opposite. We want to basically, we are offering very generous grants to help with financial bootstrapping of the operations, the developers or the teams that want to start up a Web3 idea. So we are interested in actually working with you and selecting the best the best ideas and proposals to actually help them with funding. Okay, I think Zach has also raised the hand first, and then Bakir.
Exactly.
Hi, everyone. All right. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm excited to be part of this hackathon info session. Now, I had a question that the sessions will be on a daily basis from today onwards up to the 14th. And that's my first question. The second question would be, are we going to be paired with a team from your end to work on the ideas during the hackathon? Thank you.
Sessions are not daily. actually the learning sessions are the ones displayed in here. So there is 6 learning sessions where our co-founders and experts are coming and teaching you about Partisia, the tech, the tools available, and how to build on top. We also have one AMA at the end of every week. So that would be either Thursday or Friday. Just again on hackathon.partisiablockchain.com, you have all the information of the scheduled sessions. The sessions aren't mandatory either. If you feel you already have an amazing submission and proposal, please go ahead and send it to our team. There is no need to join every session. I think we recommend them as highly inspirational and educational in order to know and to be able to build then an idea on top of Partisia blockchain. It is highly recommended to join these sessions to understand and to ask the questions. To your question about pairing, yes, we can handle that. We would need to have you reach out to our Discord, on our Discord channel. Somebody has posted the link on Discord on this chat in this session. So if you want to follow that link, just to go on Discord and discuss your need. We need to know precisely what is your need for pairing. Is it somebody with a developer with a more technical skill, or is it somebody that has a great idea and wants to partner with you? So we need to understand what type of team to integrate you in to be able to do that matching. But yes, we will do that.
Okay, can I come in? Good afternoon, everyone.
Hello. One question, would it be possible to hold your question for 2 minutes to actually allow Bakir, that has raised his hand sooner, to see he was in line for the next question?
All right, sure.
All right, hi everyone. I'm really happy to be part of this live. Actually, my question was like, for me, it was like the first time which I've heard of this blockchain. I don't know from like when this blockchain was started. So I'm also a developer, and I've been working a lot on Ethereum blockchain or Solana. Like my main question was like, it is like an enhancement on Ethereum blockchain or somehow, or it's kind of like completely a new one. As you kind of like talk that there will be a couple of other workshops that will guide us through the procedure that will tell us how we are gonna build the app. And that was like, one simple question. The other one is like the timing that you have been set for the projects that for this hackathon is kind of like around 2 months or something, that for that time that it's going to be like, the announcement for that, and the apps will be kind of like ready for the launch or something. How's that? I mean, it's like a very short time, right?
Yeah, so it doesn't have to be live and ready to get the grants. It just needs to be in process and, show the progress and the vision and the organization, I suppose. Again, this hackathon is a bit different in that it's not like a show up, code for 72 hours without sleeping and finish your product. It's more about get started now, start coordinating with our team, get things organized, and it's not like you have to build it and complete it and launch it, within a month and a half. So it's more about just getting in sync with us, getting started, making some progress, and seeing how you line up against everyone else for the grants. But going back to your start of your question, definitely recommend you tune in to October 26, 27, and 31. Even actually all of these for the technical stuff. We are a new blockchain. We're not new in regard to our involvement in the industry. We've been building blockchain products since 2017. We've been building privacy preserving cryptography like MPC and other zero knowledge tech since 2008. But yeah, we did a $55 million pre-sale. The mainnet is live. The tokens are not trading or transferable yet. So this is kind of like the beginning of our developer network. So you are coming at the beginning of a new big project, with a big vision. So it's kind of cool also that you get to be involved at sort of the ground level, as the full scope of this blockchain has just been ready for everyone to come in and start building, as of now. So yeah, I think hopefully with Yulia, she came on a couple months ago. She's our new chief marketing officer. We're just getting started with initiatives like this hackathon to raise awareness and get builders going on our platform.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Just a few more quick answers to the questions that I see repeating in the chat. So first of all, related to bring your own idea. Nice coin, Helena. We have provided 2 tracks and one big request for the daring idea around fast checking. So consider the big award, the 125K award, assigned, committed to the fast checking idea of platform idea. Additional to that, the 2 tracks on DeFi and data economy in Web3 are optional for you. We encourage you to solve against those ideas, because those use cases, because we consider those use cases to be the most evocative and the best solved with an MPC-based blockchain. The values that you can bring with privacy on blockchain and with secure multi-party computation on blockchain apps best apply to those use cases. So that would be our recommendation. If you have an amazing idea that you would like to build on top of Partisia and you feel that it doesn't fit those tracks, that's okay as well. As Brian said, we are interested in ideas and proposals, and then we will make sure that we accompany you all the way to bring this idea to life. So yes, there will be mentorship sessions. Let's start with the AMA that is at the end of this week, when you can come with your idea. And I think it was Gaurav that was asking to come and talk to a mentor. And then we have mentorship dedicated sessions as well. Okay, I think Zach, you wanted to ask something again, or your hand just stayed raised.
Paul had a question, but it looks like he dropped off.
Okay.
Did everybody's questions here got answered then? Anyone else have any more questions?
I see that Achigone John Paul has a raised hand.
Okay. Hi, Achigone.
Good day.
Hello.
So my question is, can you hear me?
Yes.
So I have a very simple question. We are working on the music platform where artists will be able to list their NFT alongside with their music. So I want to know if your blockchain currently supports minting of NFTs on chain.
Yes, it does. And that'll be part of the developer toolkit, is you can mint NFTs on the chain. And you can even use privacy preserving tech to create what we call secret NFTs. So you can sell an NFT that shows art, but there could be secret files within the NFT that only the holder could have access to. That's kind of a cool use case.
Okay, so we have been working on integration with Polygon, and since this blockchain is new, we love to try new things, and I will want to, if partnership is possible, to also list, like connect our RPC network directly to yours. I also want to know whether it's plug and play. Is it like Ethereum based? Is it using the 0x kind of network, or a different chain entirely?
Yeah, it's a custom layer 1, so it's not EVM.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
So Logan and Bruce can also join us here on stage, perhaps, and say hi to everybody, because there was someone here who asked who will be the person they will talk to about
Yeah,
individual.
maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
that being said, I have to jump, everyone. I have another important meeting I have to get into. So it was great to be able to chat with a few of you, answer some questions, tell you more about the hackathon, and Bruce and Logan will take it from here for me, and I'm always around afterward. Just reach out. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
And thanks, Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if I can just add a few comments on the idea section, one of the things that we're trying to do is to help develop your ideas with you. So we understand that MPC and zero knowledge computation is a somewhat difficult concept to grasp, especially if you're trying to jump on board this initially. So we want to provide a way for us to mentor perhaps, or to help generate ideas with you. So one of the ways that you can participate in that is if you jump onto our Discord channel, the link is provided in the chat. And you can create a support ticket, a dev support ticket, or you can ping any of the mavens, which are identified by the red tag in Discord, and just ask them for any kind of a consultation. The other thing that we'll probably try and do is to facilitate an idea brainstorming session with all the different developers, and that's something that we might also try and do as well. So those are some of the different avenues that you guys have to help generate your ideas.
And before you spoke, Bruce, I was just going to introduce you and Logan to the team so that they know who they are speaking to. So Bruce is our main relation right now, our interface with the developers. Some of you must have already spoken to him. I know that some of you have already reached out. Direct connection with Bruce. I think his preferred channel is Discord, but feel free to ask us how to reach out to him for any connections to the Partisian technical team. And then Logan is our director of PBC apps, leading a team of fierceful developers building on top of Partisia. So he will relate the best with your needs and with your current state of how to build on top of Partisia.
Hi, everyone. It's really nice to meet you, and thank you for the introduction, Yulia.
And you'll have the opportunity to meet them also via video. I think that it's because of the settings right now, you're just guests, but we'll make sure that in the next sessions, you are panelists, and you will be able to have a face for the developers that join in.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing the front end on November 1st, and we'll be hearing from everybody between now and then.
Oh.
Great. I think I've actually promoted you to panelist, but it doesn't look like you can switch on your camera. But anyway, technicalities we need to look at later. So there is one more question, one more person who has their hands raised. Luis? Hi.
Sorry, I think that's a mistake. Sorry about that.
I was a mistake. Okay, all right. Okay, cool. All right, Julia, shall we wrap it up then?
Yes, sounds great. Yes, so recording will be posted on the website, and we'll see you tomorrow with a session from Kurt.
Yes.
Thank you all for coming. It was amazing to see you all, to have your questions. We're very excited to see you also in the virtual space, in Discord, in Telegram, everywhere.
Yes, you will also get the support here from the data natives team. There's a person talking behind that. All right, so okay.
I will show my picture in case somebody sees it. So it's me.
All right. And there's also some other people.
You in the rock and tech world, right?
Okay, cool. Well, more details at hackathon.partisiablockchain.com. contact us on Discord. You met Logan, you met Bruce, you met Julia, you met Brian. You will meet the whole Partisia team the next couple of weeks, and really happy to have everybody here. It was a lot of people, and hopefully after this session also people will watch it afterwards who did not make it to the session and continue participating at the developers program now starting with all the educational content. And thank you thank you all for joining.